Hey, this is Notser, and we are in the Tier 9 German cruiser Roon. She has 49,500 health, a top speed of 32.5 knots, 9 203mm guns, 18 secondary guns, and there's a reason secondaries there, not torpedoes. Surface detect of 11.1 kilometers, and 81A defense rating. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main armament, improved secondary gun range, improved secondary rate of fire, reduced the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, priority target, preventative maintenance, expert marksman, basic firing training, manual secondary, advanced firing training, and concealment again. We are on the map Warrior's Path, and be prepared. We're going to do some massive damage, be in torpedo range, do lots and lots of successful shots. I hope you'll enjoy this secondary build. Why the Tier 9 and not the Tier 10? Tier 9 has more secondaries, actually. As surprising as that sounds, it has more secondaries. So it's sort of like the Bismarck, where it's really the apex predator in that particular build style. And unfortunately, we spawn over in the west side, so I've got to go over to the east. We need island coverage to get close. We need to ambush, get as close as possible. I've also considered trying the British cruisers because they have great concealment. That might be a video that we make too. But I'm really enjoying all the comments. It's really humorous how angry people are. I've never been someone who has followed, and I don't intend to ever start. It's quite funny that people are like, "You can't do this. This is just wrong. Do you understand what you're doing to this community?" I love that. I love that line. Like that matters. Do you know what community contributors are? They are people who contribute to the community. Some are extremely skilled at the game. Some are extremely skilled at being entertainers. And there's a variety. Some really like aircraft carriers. Some like to do whatever they want. They can do it. It doesn't matter. Okay. I've never been interested in just doing the same builds as everyone. I was one of the first leading the way with concealment on battleships. I was one of the first who talked about the stopwatch exploit, where the stopwatch would blink and it would sort of reveal to you exactly where the target is going to be, so you would aim directly at that. That was nerfed real quick, but that had been in the game since the very beginning. Even at the time, I was told, "Why are you doing this?" I'm doing it so it gets out of the game. Obviously, if something existed in the game that made it easier for you to find success, and only 1% of the population knew about it, isn't it our job as a community contributor to bring awareness to that? And for whatever reason, nobody wanted to do that. I'm sure at least one or two community contributors knew exactly what that was, and they refused to reveal that information. I was one of the first to discuss the idea that you play the German destroyers as a destroyer, a torpedo boat, regardless of whether their torpedoes have terrible damage. Oh, just awful. It's not even viable. Yeah, but they rearm like twice as fast. So I'm really confident in my contributions to this community. I'm not going to stop doing this stuff. I'm really not. And by the way, YouTube has the ability to shadow ban an individual who comments any community. They can decide that that person's remarks are offensive and not ban them. They can just refuse the comment to be visible to their community. You're literally talking to yourself. So just be aware of that. Be aware whenever you decide to be nasty to me or anyone in the community, you might actually already be banned. And no, we're not going to tell you if you are or not. That's why you have to be on your best behavior. That's the whole point. So yeah, I don't care. Now, we finally got into a position where we could address the targets and not be seen the entire time. And I'm just going to move forward. Obviously, we've got North Carolina, enemy Kutuzov, we've got the Izmo. We've got all these guys ready to go, and I'm just trying to get in secondary range. And initially I was like, go after the cruiser, but this is North Carolina. He's shelling a ton of his side. So, of course, I'm going to fire at his side. And he was one shot. Combined damage from the Missouri, myself, he's gone. Just like that. 100-0. I'm sure he's extremely happy with his existence. And now we turn to the cruiser. And there is a risk that he might drop his torpedoes, so I, of course, use hydroacoustic. I'm looking for that citadel. I'm not crazy. I'm not just going to allow the secondaries to fire and be on their own. Someone was like, you should just play a German battleship and never fire your guns. I don't think that's actually going to work out. Part of this is to actually have a strat, and maybe you could incorporate a better build than what is currently the agreed upon community build. That's the whole point of this. Now, it would be humorous, right? Secondary Kiev, it's got 2 guns. It's got a max range of like 6.9. I don't know that that's enough guns to really see an effect, especially to invest in the manual secondary or whatever, but to have torpedoes with great range, and I was afraid of torpedoes, by the way, and have secondaries, this is just like playing the Scharnhorst or the Gneisen or the Tirpitz. It actually works pretty well. It actually works pretty well. And hopefully we'll be able to take this guy out because he's sailing right and open. Yeah, our torpedoes do indeed take him out. Enemy Alabama is our next potential secondary target, and it's working out pretty well. Unfortunately, the Alabama, he does not want to die to this DPS machine, and he's gonna run away. Run away! We've got an Atlanta, not the ship I want to see because he's just gonna keep me at range. We're gonna look for those citadels. Big citadels. You get 1. 3 overpin though. Ugh. Of course. And I was considering setting the Atlanta as secondaries. He's never gonna get close. He wants to keep it at range. I'm just trying to get that trolley citadel just a little bit too high. He was just a skosh. If I would have dropped it 1 or 2 pixels, I think I would have hit his citadel. And I'm waiting to put the fire out until he can't fire on me anymore. This Alabama, man, those American battleships are so fast. It's really hard to keep up with them and get within secondary range. But we are actually opening up on the target. We are actually doing damage and trying to dodge as best as I can. Enemy Atlanta, though, is the priority. He can do more damage to me. At least I think he can. Yeah, every 30 seconds, Alabama's going to fire, hoping to miss. But this Atlanta can fire over the target. And he's just angled. It's so annoying. Just take the citadel and die. Now, unfortunately, Roon has the main body of the turrets in the backside. So we're going to have to open up a little bit more than we want to. Oh, the Alabama missed bad there. Open up a little bit more than we want to. But we are doing secondary damage, setting him on fire, forcing out damage control. Ooh, come on, Atlanta, kill him! Oh, it's so annoying. The Atlanta is so annoying. Oh, is he going to die to this? Please die to this. I can't afford for you to set me off. Ah, he didn't kill. I didn't kill him. And of course, he sets us on fire. But that should be enough to kill him. He's showing us too much side. Yep, we take him out. And of course, the Alabama takes us out. But not bad. Not bad at all. 90,000 damage, 3 kills. We have 4 fires. We never used HE at all. Even if the fires didn't do any damage, they're going to force out damage control because they didn't do any damage, and my teammates should be able to follow up and find success that way. So it's a win-win. Win-win-win-win-win. And it keeps the game moving. I mean, it's 10 minutes in the game, and it's basically over. The game is extremely over, and my team is going to win. So I'm not sorry for doing builds like this. Could it be better? What would I do differently? I don't know. Maybe I would go steering. The problem with the Germans is that their concealment's mediocre, and their rudder shift is mediocre. So you can only really afford to improve one aspect. you can avoid taking damage for 2 kilometers, or you can have okay maneuverability. You can't really have both. I went with concealment. I felt like the 2 or 3 kilometers I needed to get closer. But maybe steering is the better route. I don't know. I'm actually very surprised with how effective dodging, committing to dodging all the time, is compared to concealment in some cruisers. I would like to explore that even further. There was an instance where I was a dodge spec cruiser, a Japanese cruiser, and I was among 3 different enemies, and I never took main damage for 20 or 30 seconds. You know, 2 destroyers, a cruiser. They sent torpedoes, nothing hit. It wasn't the easiest thing to do, obviously, but I think dodging is probably undervalued in the community, especially for cruisers. Obviously, you've got concealment, and you have the Soviet destroyers that dodge a lot, but some cruisers can get their rudder shift down to be better than the Soviet destroyers, which is hilarious to me. But we'll see. I was happy with this. I thought it performed very well. I didn't think that I don't know that I would have done as well if I wasn't playing like this. I got a torpedo strike. I was able to assist with the North Carolina. We overran their position really quickly. I kept the pressure up. I always see that people are more willing to support me than probably you are. And that's just due to they recognize the name. They see that I make content. I can do things that others can't because people are more willing to work with you. They're excited. Oh, we might be in a Notser video. Or I like this guy's personality, so that's the way it works out. I'm hoping that they'll be more receptive to an aggressive push because I hate passive metas. 3 kills, 90,000 damage done. The Missouri is the only one that beat us, and he's the guy that wiped out the North Carolina. So great job, Missouri. You did a great job there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We did what? 10,000 with secondaries? Not bad. And torpedoes too. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a fantastic day. 1.5 shot at us too. That's not bad. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.